Because this is the psychology of Buddhism, which is one of the psychologists I know. She says that of all the stories which I have given over the years, there's 3 of them which she uses regularly to all her clients. In fact, there's such important stories that it forms the basis of her therapy. But unfortunately, she does give me no commission whatsoever, even though they're my stories. I should have got a patent on that, but nevertheless, of course we don't mind. The point is that they actually work. And one of those stories is one of the most powerful stories I've ever heard. It actually was adapted. It was adapted from a story by the Buddha in the Udana, in the Tripitaka. There was a story of the demon who came into the emperor's palace. And many of you may know this, but I'm repeating it for those who don't, and also to emphasize how important this is for dealing with depression. That particular story was when an emperor was out somewhere, and when he was away from his palace, his monster came in. And this monster was so huge and ugly. You know, even on the TV you don't see real monsters like that. Real monsters are terrifying. You know, big bulgy eyes, and the tongue coming out, was scary. In fact, it was so frightening that all the guards were supposed to protect the palace, they froze, and they didn't do anything, they didn't stop the monster. So the monster went right into the middle of the palace and sat on the emperor's throne. That's not where a monster should sit, that's the emperor's seat. So eventually the guards realized what was going on, and they said, "Get out of here! You don't belong here, this is our emperor's seat." But of those few unkind words, the monster grew an inch bigger, more frightening, more smelly, and the language coming out from the monster got worse. And that really upset the guards, even the ministers got involved. And they made threats and curses of this monster to get out quick or they would be in big trouble. But every angry word, every negative deed, even every angry thought, the monster just grew an inch bigger, more ugly, more stinky, and his language got worse. And this had been going on a long time when the emperor came back. And when he came back, he saw this monster was so big, he took up half the hall. It's a huge monster. And he was so frightening, so ugly, that even other monsters like Shrek would run away in fear. And the smell coming off this monster, its smell was so bad that even maggots threw up and became sick. And the language was worse than if Manchester United lost to Liverpool. It was terrible language. But the reason this guy was the emperor was because he was smart. He was wise. He knew what to do. All he did when he saw this huge, ugly, stinky, frightening monster was to say, "Welcome. Thank you for coming to visit. Has any of my guards yet got you something